And and good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily back in New York. I'm back in New York, y'all. I cannot believe I am back in New York, well, via Jersey. And I'm so excited. A 15-hour flight just got, I've been home now roughly 3 hours, 2 hours, two and a half hours. It's back to New York, y'all. Back to New York. New York. Back to New York. Okay, y'all. Hey, Rini. Hey, Rini. I see you in the I see you in the building. I see you, Tanya, in the building. How are you all doing? Welcome. 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 And whew, the journey. Can I tell you the journey? 15 hours. Sorry, 16 hours is not a joke. But I got lucky, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you one of my strategies to help me with my 16-hour flight to back to New York City. And also, I spent 2 hours flying from Walvis Bay, which is outside. I had to drive from Swakopmund to Walvis Bay, which is about a 35-40 minute drive to Walvis Bay International Airport, then drove all the way back to our wonderful Johannesburg, South Africa. And then from there, I ended up in, let me see what, I ended up waiting there for about roughly 4 or 5 hours. I arrived there like 5 o'clock, and my flight was at 10. And then after that, got on board the plane. We got one. They had boarding early, and we still left the same time. So we end up flying 16 hours between Johannesburg and New York's, for I should say Newark. But make sure we get it exactly correct. So in case you guys are following and want to know how I'm traveling, but from Johannesburg, South Africa, to Newark, New Jersey, which means they like to say New York, Newark, New Jersey. So I am back home and I miss my family. It's so good to see everyone. And you don't realize how much you miss people until you are away from them for so long. And also, I will tell you that it has been absolutely an amazing journey, and 5 countries, about 25 different towns and cities and little towns, big towns, landmark places, canyons, state parks, animals, photographing wildlife and photographing elephants, giraffes, ostriches, and so much more. It has been an incredible travel for really 4 months. And I was supposed to arrive back home for the first week of July, but because of political situations that are happening in the world, you know how we say geopolitical situations that are happening around the world, I decided to come home early, and it works out. It all works out. But let me tell you something about how you can. This is what I do. I have an app. I have my Delta app, my United Airlines app. Any airlines I'm on, I get the app. And then what I try to do, like I did with this one, especially for a 16-hour flight, you don't want to sit next to anyone. You don't want to be sitting next to anyone for 16 hours. So what I usually do is I go in and I just keep checking the seating. Like every day, I just check the seating, right? Once you booked, you can always go back and change your seating if you want to. So I would look and say, okay, so I started out on one side of the plane. Then I said, okay, someone just filled in that seat. Then I went to the other side. Then I went to another seat. And then it was like, oh man, this one has an opportunity of being filled with 2 people. Let me move to another section. And then I went finally to a I looked at I looked at it about maybe around 3 hours before I left the house to go to the airport, and I said, "This looks like a high probability that no one will be sitting here." And I noticed that the how all the middle seats were like empty. So I wanted to follow suit. So I saw that there was a full row, and I try not to spend a lot of money on flights. So I'm an economy person. Now I know I should be traveling in first class or business class or one of those places, but I am about the experience of travel, like getting to the destination versus I should be more comfortable. I mean, when you ride 16 hours, you should be, yeah. But it's the difference in price is like ridiculous. Like I was not going to spend $4,000 to be in business class, and so I do this, and I said, well, I think highly the probability of this seat being next to me is going to be empty. Is going to be high, judging by human behavior. So my buddy who works in the airlines, he started laughing. Who lives in Namibia? He goes, Ron, I don't know. I said, look, I've been studying human behavior for a long time. It is my job as a visual merchandiser, for all 15 years I was doing it, to know the behaviors of people, what makes them shop, how do they shop, which aisles they go down, what's the probabilities, and all. So I learned all that stuff, right? So I was right. I picked the window seat. It had 3 seats available. The highly unlikely was that I would get 3 seats, but I got them. I got my seat, and then no one booked the 2 seats that were next to me. So guess what? I was able to just sleep across the aisle and sleep as I came, as I returned home to New York. So it was good to see that. Let's see here. And so I'm back in New York, y'all. And it has been an adventure. And so I said, let me come on. I was like, it's Memorial Day. No one's going to be here. And probably not. But you know what? I said, why not? First of all, a lot of milestones were done while I was away in Namibia. Um, One is obviously this community crossed the 1,000 subscriber line mark. So we are now 1,009, I think it is, maybe 1,010. And that is beautiful to be able to say this community has moved one globally. This community is now past 1,000 subscribers. This community is now able to get more options as we use these YouTube tools, and so that's really exciting for me. So that's one thing. So the YouTube was wonderful. Then I went also to Namibia to also start a company, and I did, and it was successful. It was all done, all the paperwork was done, and now I have a company in Namibia, which is like very, very exciting because it opens up so many probabilities and potentials for my senior life overseas, and we'll see what that looks like. But it happened, and it was at the skin of the like last seconds. And I have to tell you, for those that don't have faith, I believe in faith. I'm a person of faith, and I said, God, open the doors, open the windows, open the heavens, open everything. And I needed some paperwork to get done for an account that I was trying to create, and the person was out for holiday. But because I let them know I was leaving on Sunday to come back home, which was yesterday, they they made a special visit to the bank to open up the account just on his day off, and I was so thankful. And it goes to show you, you have not because you ask not, and you have to just put your request out into the world and don't give up. And so at one point I was ready to give up. I am from the United States, but I was staying in Namibia. Osiris. Osiris, I love that name. I used Osiris for a lot of things. That name, Osiris. But yeah, I'm from the United States, from New York City, and born and raised in New York City. And but I am now a nomad, so I don't have a. I mean, I do have my. I'm still an American, and I still have my American passport. I'm still a citizen here, but I am also looking overseas and seeing what opportunities are overseas that I can experience and that I can share with this community. So I am your guinea pig, as they say. So I'm getting out into the world and meeting new people, connecting with people, looking at great opportunities so that way I can share them with you as you begin to process and think about the new world we live in. And so that's how we do it. That's how we do it. This is a community. So anything that I learn, I always try to bring back to this community so that way you can learn also. That's my priority. And I see here. So welcome, Osiris. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you hit the subscribe and notify so that way you can see when we're on this community. I'm a photographer from New York City, and also if you're looking for some free photography lessons, they are in this platform. So you can go to Basic Photography and Tips, and you'll get a whole stream, lots of videos on tips about photography. You can get them here free. So, I know a lot of folks can't afford to get lessons. And these are very basic lessons, but they will help you with your photography. If you want to do something advanced, you can book me for that. But these are basic photography lessons and tips that will help you improve your smartphone photography and also your main camera photography, your DSLRs, your mirrorless, those cameras. Film, exciting. Let's see who else is in the building. Let's see here. Coco Million. How you doing, Jay? Is in the building. How are you doing? I'm doing well. How are you doing? How are you doing? I like when you guys have questions. Those are good questions. So, I'm back in New York. It's a holiday here. And it is also a holiday on the African continent. It is called African Day, Africa Day. And so all my all my friends and all my peeps and all my connections and all the people that I've met while being on the continent of Africa, between South Africa and Namibia and all the ones I know from other places, happy Africa Day in Africa, on the continent of Africa. I tried to change the way I say, because it's not in Africa like Africa is a country. Africa is not a country, so it's always important to say in Africa, on the African continent, so people know that there are 53, 54 countries on the continent of Africa. Like North America has Canada and the United States, right? These are continents. There's a difference between the continent and the countries. And so I had the great opportunity to spend some quality time in South Africa and also in Namibia. And so shout out to all Namibians are off this Monday. I know they are off because I was there. I'm not sure how the rest of the continent celebrates African Unity Day. That's what it was originally called. And so all you folks in Africa, on the continent of Africa, happy Africa Day. Okay. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. Like I said, I've been doing lots of travels. 5 countries: Portugal. It was Portugal, France, Germany, South Africa, and Namibia. I knocked out 5 countries, and I had the time of my life. I photographed so many interesting places, interesting people, so much. I've learned so much on this trip about myself. I learned about others. I learned about time, quality time. I've learned about being a part of a community, being a part of this community, sharing, supporting, but then also gaining new followers and new friendships overseas that I did not have before this journey started in February. And so I am back. So I was originally supposed to be returning the first week of July, but I changed my itinerary. I was supposed to go to Tanzania. Like I was supposed to be heading to Tanzania instead of back to New York, and then head to Kenya. But because of the political, we call it geopolitical environment, the geopolitical environment is a little crazy overseas right now. So what I mean by that, the Iran war, the United States worthless war, I should say, um, the war, Trump and his so as soon as I say Trump, 1,000 trolls will pop in. It's like the magical troll word. But because of the war, places like Kenya and Tanzania, the fuel costs are up. So, if you're in on the continent of Africa, you call it petrol. So the petrol prices are up, and so people are not able to afford enough petrol to go to work. And if they can't get to work, they can't make money. If they can't make money, they can't pay for the bills. They can't pay for the petrol. So this war is having a major effect on other countries. It's affecting America on some level, but it's not like other countries. And so I made the decision to come home versus trying to deal with the unexpected and not have certainty in Tanzania, because they were also two places I had never been before. And I wanted to be smart and wanted to be wise. And my advisors advised me not to do it. So they said, Ron, I think you should just hold off on Tanzania and Kenya. And then I was going to take 3 weeks and just go and spend time in Johannesburg. So when I arrived in Johannesburg yesterday, I was supposed to just hang out in Johannesburg for 3 weeks and spend time with some of my friends there. But again, because of geopolitical stuff that's going on in South Africa, for those that don't know, they are having a problem with what's called Afrophobia, and they're having a problem with xenophobia. And so, again, my advisors were like, Ron, you can wait till next year. You can wait till you come back in December to go to Johannesburg. Maybe things will calm down. And what's happening in Johannesburg is that you have South African born residents attacking foreign working residents, and people from Zimbabwe, people from Maui, some from what's the other, Botswana, different places, and they are attacking them and accusing them of taking their jobs. But that's not the case. And then they don't realize that in Johannesburg, I was just saying South Africa, not Johannesburg, but a lot of these incidents have happened in Johannesburg, that these incidents are going to chase dollars away from the country. And if the dollars are not coming into the country from tourists like myself, that means less opportunities for people to make money. Tourism, Johannesburg, Cape Town, these are in South Africa, they rely heavily on tourism. And if people are afraid to come to your country because they're afraid, like here in America, like with all the stuff that's going on with ICE and all that stuff, the tourism in America is down huge. And if you go to places like Nevada, I do believe I heard once the stat said it was down 50%, like cut in half. So people that used to make money are not making money. And this is all because of racism, prejudice, bigotry, right? I was having a conversation with a couple in the airport yesterday. We had such a great conversation. We were both waiting for United Airlines to wake up, to open up, and for the queue so we could join the queue. But we were just hanging out, talking, and they were a white couple, and really cool. She loves photography. He's a good photographer with his smartphone. Hello, shout out to them if they're seeing this. And I mentioned to them, I said to them, you have never seen a prosperous country that stands on racism and bigotry, right? It doesn't stand. It doesn't stand the long run. It all comes to a collapse. You you have to have freedom. You have to have a environment where people from backgrounds, different backgrounds, can come together and be together and work together and brainstorm together and just do things together, regardless of their color of their skin or their economic. And again, think about this. It happens in countries where people are the same ethnicity or the same shade. Like, right? How about there's, the caste system in India? How many people on the upper caste don't respect the people in the lower caste? Or in Africa, on the continent, you have black people that don't want to connect with other black people, Africans. That's bad. So it's not just black and white. It's black on black, white on white. I mean, think about how many years that Ireland and England were going after each other. And remember all the bombings and all that stuff that used to happen in Ireland, well, really in UK, and between the fight between the Protestants and the Catholics. And they're the same color. They're white people, and they're from the same heritage. Some of them have the same grandparents and the same uncles and the same aunties from the same backgrounds, but they hated each other because of religion. But hatred of any kind cannot prosper. Think about what's going on in the Middle East. A lot of folks, a lot of the countries in the Middle East are now saying, what should we do with America? Because they realize that now they are targets. They are targets because of their association with America. And America has done a very bad thing in starting this war with Iran. And so now they are in the eyesight of Iran. And think about, for those that don't know, I'm old enough to remember, people didn't travel to the Middle East like they do until up until the war. The Middle East was like one of those iffy places. Like, oh, I don't know, because I don't want to get killed. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be in a situation. And then the Middle Eastern countries worked hard on their reputation, like the UAE. When you think about the United Arab Emirates, and you can go to Dubai and not worry about anything bad happening, or going to Qatar, but now it's not safe. No one's visiting Qatar. No one's visiting the Dubai. War is never a good thing. Racism is never a good thing. Hatred of others is never a good thing. It never works out for anyone. At the end of the day, we all suffer. So today is Motivation Monday, by the way. Should I put that on the screen? Should I put that on the screen? It's my day. It's my time back to New York, but it's still Motivation Monday. So Motivation Monday. Let me keep that on display. It is Motivation Monday. And if I can say anything from my world travels, I've been traveling, like I said, for 4 months. 4 months, 5 countries, and dozens and dozens of counties, and so many places. If there's anything that's insightful about it all, is that we have to get along. We have to get along. We cannot exist on this planet hating one another. We cannot hate others. We cannot be the ones that are like, hey, you know what? I don't like this person because of their skin color. I don't like this person because of their economic levels. I don't like this person because they want to work and I may not want to work. right? Certain jobs people just don't want to do, but immigrants come in and do it, right? South Africa, right? America, wanting to do jobs that the local people don't want to do. And don't get angry when they are doing the jobs and then want to hurt them. It doesn't end well. It doesn't work out. It doesn't. You have to appreciate your immigration population, refugees, immigrants. They are important to your economies. They're important to our economy. Who's going to pick the berries? Who's going to pick the apple trees? I don't see too many middle class or even, you know, you know, certain people in the fields excited about picking the berries. No, but our immigrant population doesn't mind doing it because they know it's work that's going to give them opportunity in the future. Racism never works. It never works. Xenophobia never works. Afrophobia never works. Looking down on different classes doesn't work. We have to be better as humans. So it's Motivation Monday. It's Motivation Monday. It's a holiday here in America. It's Memorial Day weekend. As we take time to think about those who died for our country. Think about that. A lot of those people that died for this country in the United States, or maybe in your country, were not always born citizens of your country. A lot of people died so that we could have liberties, right? A lot of immigrants came to America and died, fought wars so that their children could have freedom. It's not too big of an ask to do away with racism, bigotry against the other. The refugees, the immigrants, they are important to your economies, our economy. We need them just as much as they need us. It's a two-way street. It's us working together. So as I've traveled the world these last 4 months, I've just been like, ooh, I've learned so much and so much wisdom gained in connecting with people and learning about their customs and learning about the different tribes in Namibia and hanging out with folks in South Africa and hearing some of the stories and the struggles that they're going through. It's not just America. America is crazy. We got some crazy leadership. We got some like insane leadership. But there are other countries that are struggling too. And my prayers go out to all countries and everyone that is struggling because we need everyone to be participating in government. Which, Motivation Monday, I had this conversation. I was in Namibia and I was hanging out with one of my friends' friends. And he was like, I don't vote. I think I mentioned this in this community. And I said, why don't you vote? Well, he said, this corrupt. Everyone's corrupt. All politicians are corrupt. I said, well, maybe because you don't vote. Maybe if you voted and people like yourself that were for justice voted instead of just giving up on the system, you will have a better system. You have to vote. Our challenge in America is that everyone doesn't vote. We wouldn't have the government we have right now if people voted. Like really vote it. Like really study the politicians that they're putting into office. Democracy or republics is a citizen participation. Citizen participation. You cannot have a thriving democracy or republic if you do not have citizens engaged and working hard to make sure things stay honest and fighting against corruption. It's all of us. We are all important to a civil, balanced, and just society. And I see here also, hey, what's up, Kavion? I see you in the building. Kavia Shamalavia is in the building. Oh, let me get that on the screen. I hope I didn't butcher that name. I hope I didn't butcher your name, sir. And also, I see Kimmy Kim is in the building with the applause, but she also said hello. And Chris, Chris, I was talking about you today, my Thailand sister. She said my family came to America to Panama and worked their whole lives. Yep, yep. It's all of us working, guys and girls. All of us must fight bigotry. All of us must fight racism. All of us must fight xenophobia. All of us must fight Afrophobia. Hey, DS is in the building. I see you, DS. Hello, Ron and the Touch Base Daily family. DS here. So good to see you. So, it's Motivation Monday, y'all. It's Motivation Monday. Be motivated. This week, tomorrow's a vote. Tomorrow, somewhere in America, there's an election. So I hope those that have an election tomorrow, you participate. You get the government you vote for. And if you don't vote, you voted by not voting. So get out and vote. Study your candidates. Study them. Pick up a book. Go to Google. See what their policies are. What do they believe in? What do they don't believe in? What they don't believe in. Okay? So today's a short one. Oh, wow. It's already 11:53. I've been talking that much already. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, again, I am home. I'm back in America, and I plan to share some really cool places while I'm here. I have between now and November to share New York and New Jersey with you, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to also be traveling because between now and then, I need to go see Hannah. So I'm going to visit Hannah. I'm going to visit in North Carolina. I still have places in America that I'm still going to be visiting. So I'll still be traveling. I'll be traveling here in the United States, and I want to be able to share some of these places with you all, and help you. I have a lot to share. I mean, it was just I try to do a timeline with you guys to kind of like give you information as I was going and traveling. It became overwhelming because there was just so much. It's so much about there's so much work in being on a road with no Wi-Fi for like 9 hours, 9, 10 hours driving through the country of Namibia. And so I could not keep up in getting the photos to you all. But what I've been doing is putting a lot more stuff here in the community. So I am about now really giving a lot of the photos and things I'm doing in the community. So you can find that in the community board and community part of this. Oh, Kristen, let me tell you. Oh, that's a good question. Are you happy to be home? Um, I am happy to be home because I miss my family. I miss Nancy and Adrian and everybody. I can't wait to. I'm going to be visiting my friend Yvette tomorrow. Have lunch with her, celebrate her birthday, which was this weekend past. I miss my family and friends. However, I don't miss. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I gotta be back in this crazy country of ours, and the food is not as good. I mean, the food overseas is so much better. I was like, now what do I eat? Now that I'm back in America, what do I eat? How do I eat? Because everything tastes so fresh outside of this country. So part of me is happy. Part of me is sad because I'm not in that. I love Namibia. I love the people. I love the new friendships I've acquired. Um, and I love the pace of life in Namibia. Uh, but I'm also excited about being home because I'm always excited about being. Life is all about just being, because you never know what opportunities are going to show up at your door, no matter where you are in the world. So I'm very happy to be home because I am here with expectations that something great is going to happen. Thank you for that question, Kristen. DS, DS always has questions. DS says, how does it feel to be back? Like I said, it feels good to be back. I'm sleepy a little bit, but I'm not like exhausted because I did sleep on the plane. And I did tell you my trick, right? I told you the trick, so you have to catch the early part of the show. My tricks on how to get 3 seats or 2 seats when you're traveling internationally, long distance, and you do not want to sit next to someone for 12, well, in this case, 16 hours. And and I achieved what I sought out to do. Let's see here. What are the questions? The question, how long is the plane ride? The plane ride was 2 hours from Swakopmund, or I should say Walvis Bay, to Johannesburg was 2 hours. And then from Johannesburg to New York was 16 hours. So altogether, 18 hours in flight time. And literally it's almost 24 hours in traveling. Cause literally, right, it was at 10:30 yesterday that I left to go to the airport. So technically it took almost 24 hours, about 20 hours to travel. Okay. And Tanya said, Tanya, you read my mind. You said, she goes, I hope you have a massage waiting. Let me tell you, I need to call my masseuse here in New York, my masseuse therapist, Adam. His sports healing center on Park Avenue, an amazing business. I'm going to have to call him and say, hey, I need to come in. I need to come in for some therapy. Fu says, what was the highlight of your trip? Oh, the highlight of my trip there was several highlights. One was testing my abilities of my resilience in certain situations. I was telling Adrian about the darkness, being at the farmhouse and having that flat and being in another place and just kind of like really trusting others because I was born and raised a control freak. I like to know where everything is. I like to know what I'm doing. I like to make sure it's on the calendar. I need to have a script. Um, so I have learned to abandon my script, my to-do lists, my dependence upon knowing. And if that makes sense to anyone, I'm usually in control of everything. This period of my life is really allowing me to be comfortable with being uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. You know how we say, right? Be comfortable with being uncomfortable with not being in control. That's the biggest lesson, I think. The highlights, photographing the wildlife was amazing. Photographing Landscapes was absolutely amazing. Photographing the people in the townships, that was another amazing. I got to spend lots of time with people in the township, and it was just eye opening. Also, meeting my driver and being a coach to him and kind of like almost like adopting him. He just told me yesterday, he sent me a text from Cape Town. Hey, business, I feel so good too. I got two new clients. And I was so proud of him that I built a relationship. This He was just my driver, and he's now a close friend. That I'm mentoring him. So the unexpected happens when you expect life to happen. The unexpected happens when you expect life to happen. So that's I think I hope that answers your question, DS. Kimmy, I miss our little morning show. Well, I'm back. I'm back. We were excited to see. She said, Kimmy said, we were excited to see your travels and appreciated it greatly. Thank you, Kimmy Kim. And Dr. Tachi says, I'm so cool to see you back stateside. Yes, I am back in America, back here in New York. Kimmy says, Christina, I do too. They are so fun to watch. And Fu says, Mr. Diaz says, what's something you learned about Africa, Namibia, that you didn't know before? Well, one is I did not know a lot of the history of Namibia. And, Namibia just got its independence 36 years ago. Well, I should say 30, it's 1996. That's 30 years ago, right? So they just got their independence 30 years ago. And they were they were once called West South Africa. And I did not know, I mean, so much that I learned, but this was one of the that comes to mind. I did not know what they had to go through to get their independence, and how many countries also supported them to get their independence and get their freedom from South Africa. And now those two countries work together. It's interesting to see that dynamic. They were once, under apartheid. It was I mean, Southwest Africa. Sorry, West South Africa belonged to South Africa, and now it's free. But there's a history of blood shed from the Germans to the British to the Afrikaans with apartheid to South Africa with apartheid and to get their freedom. Namibia, you think African Americans have gone through some stuff? There's some history in Namibia that makes your brain just want to. I mean, there were several times I wanted to just bawl and cry at one of the. I did the exhibition, and it takes you through the whole history of Namibia from prehistoric days to present, and I was like, wow, yeah. So Namibia, I did not know that history until I had this real good quality time to be there to learn it. Food, yeah, says, "Wow, love it. Sounds like a personal freedom. It is. It is. Hey, what's up? Michael Stevens is in the building. How are you? How are you? So good to see you here. And again, if you're here for the first time, make sure you hit the subscribe and notify. And if you like what we're talking about, hit the like. It lets the algorithms know that we're here. Oh, did I say? Okay, there we go. Chris says, my highlight of your trip was the nightmare that turned into Little House on the Prairie. And when you got tipsy before you came on here with us. Everybody in the bar get tipsy. That one, I was telling Adrian. I said when we were talking earlier. I said that farmhouse experience. It was hell, but it turned out to be beautiful, and I cannot wait to get those photos edited. Um, so, it was just so beautiful, but that flat had me scared. I was scared. I was a true Yankee American wishy-washy wimp. I was a wimp. And it really freaked me out. It really did freak me out. And then the whole farmhouse experience, but it turned out to be an amazing experience. I see in here Angie is in the building. How are you? Good to see you again. Hit this if you're here for the first time, hit subscribe and hit notify. And I'm a photographer here, just sharing my travels. Kelly is in the building. What's up, Kelly? She says, good morning, everyone. Welcome back, Ron. Thank you for taking us along on your beautiful journey. And I have a lot to share with you guys. So much. Now that I'm not traveling and I'm on the road, I can pop out more videos and more guys. I was out in the bush on, was it Wednesday? No, Thursday. It was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so, but Thursday and Friday mornings, some people call safaris. They like to call them game drives, or you call them nature drives. And I got to videotape and photograph these incredible elephants and ostriches and jackals, and what else did I photograph? Birds and stuff. And so I videotaped it because I wanted you guys to experience the videos, like me in the Jeep, but in the Range Rover driving through the countryside, the bush. So I did videotape it so that way I can bring that to you guys at a later date. But I'll be definitely giving you clips from my time with the elephants. Oh my gosh, that was these are the most beautiful creatures, elephants. And then I'm going to share a video from my ranger who took us out, and then he explained a story about the purpose of elephant dung. And it was quite interesting. When you are in the countryside, when you are in the like out where the people live off the earth, everything on the earth has a purpose. It's just you just learn so much when you're with people that are out in the earth. Dia says, do you remember the taste of that caterpillar? I do. I will never forget that taste. And for those that missed it, I did videotape that. That was live. We did that live. I know it was a little choppy. The video was a little choppy, but I did eat a caterpillar while in the townships, in one of the townships in Namibia, and it was tasty. It was tasty. I have to tell you, it had a certain kind of crunch to it. It had a certain kind of texture that I had never experienced before. But I told my son about this. He started laughing. He's like, never, never will he eat a caterpillar. Oh, so it was good. It was definitely good to have the caterpillar experience. Dr. say, yes, Tipsy Ron. Kelly A was in the Kelly. Were you in the building when I was? Everybody in the bar get tipsy. Yes, I was tipsy. I had too much to drink that day. Yeah, I'm a lightweight. Hey. I see. Good morning. What's up, Ron? Wait, Ron is tipsy. I love it. Yeah, I was tipsy. Now I'm not tipsy today. Very rarely am I tipsy, and can start fires. The dung does a lot. I was like, holy moly! Who knew that dung could do so much? We're gonna have a dung conversation. And we don't have to rush anywhere, right? I could just hang out with you all day. I have nothing. I can do what other people do. You know, there's some communities that just hang out and talk for like 2, 3 hours. People come in, people leave. I could do that too. I've been thinking about that. Like, just don't really have a time limit on these community conversations because sometimes you guys really get the channel going. Sometimes you really bring up amazing questions. Sometimes you really drive, like I said, all the time you drive this community. And so sometimes I hate ending it. And so maybe I will go the longer format as I'm back in New York. I can do longer formats. I can hang out and do things with you guys. I'm not rushing to get on the road. There's something I'm thinking about. You let me know. Longer format, would that work for you? Let me know. Um, DS is also some squeeze out the water from the dung in a survival situation. It is also for mosquitoes. It also versus the bushlands. It does a. I can go into a whole lesson on dung. What's to be said? And so Chris says, hold on a second. I can't get Chris's thing on here. Hold on, there it is. Chris says, I'm looking forward to seeing the collection of doors you photographed in south of France. Those doors, weren't those some interesting doors? And then photographing the ghost town and those doors. Huh, that was interesting. And the food planes laughing. DS to them. Dr. said, by longer format, what do you mean? Like, for instance, there's several YouTubers that I follow. Like, what's his name from something of the CEOs, the Diary of the CEO, or not that I follow Rogan, but Rogan's and the other people out there, they just have a longer format. I mean, people just talk. They just keep talking and sharing and connecting with their audience. That's what I mean. So normally I try to our community time is usually an hour and 15 minutes. That's usually it. What we do every day, hour and 15 minutes average. Sometimes you guys are so in it. I will try not to stop it. I will just continue to keep it going. If you guys want to talk and it's full of wisdom and full of education and that can benefit others and whoever's watching can learn from what we're talking about, then I will let it go. Even if we have a panel discussion, the panel person can leave and then other people can come on. Maybe, I don't know what that looks like. I just know that some of you and some of the folks because there's a whole nother audience. Like here, we're here at 11 o'clock, right? It's now 12:14. This is the core of this audience is American. However, there's another part of this community that is overseas, international. There are people that are members of this community. I should say subscribers, not members. Subscribers of this community that are in Australia, Indonesia, India, Prague, the Netherlands, a lot of people from India, people from Pakistan, and then some other places that are part of this community. I mean, and some of them may pop in and pop out because their hours are different. So I don't know what this looks like in the future, but I know we crossed a milestone, and I just want to make sure that this platform continues to give to all those that come here, and that we can grow together as a community. Does that answer your question, Dr. Tachi? Does that answer your question, Dr. Tachi? And if you have any, because you've helped me along this whole journey. If you have any ideas that you want to share with me and anyone in the community, please do share them. Put them in the community board. Please send, text me, whatever. What would you like this community to look like? What would you like it to grow to? How can it better benefit you? Yeah. How can this how do guests like Dr. Tachi, Gwendolyn, Chris, and then some of the photographers that we have on here that pop on, um, how will they how will they benefit the community in a longer format? I mean, like for instance, you know, there's some people that want to talk and they could just talk and we could really have some really good conversations instead of putting a time limit on it. I don't know. We'll see what that looks like. I don't know, but we will experiment and see what it looks like and what it feels like for us as a community. But I am open for all your ideas. Again, we have more tools at our disposal now that we've hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. So it gives us more opportunities, and so let's use them. Yet let's use every opportunity we have to reach people with positivity. That's what it's all about. Positivity and knowledge and information, building this community from around the globe. Okay. I see here. Oh, Dia says, how long are you in the States before you go back out the country? Good question. I know I go back to Namibia in December. So technically speaking, there's a lot that can happen in between there, but I am due back in Namibia in December. The first week of December, I'm already getting my flights all set up. So the first week of December, I'm heading back to Namibia because everyone that I met said, Ron, you have to be here for Christmas. You think it's amazing now. Wait till you see Christmas. And I've only been to Africa on the continent once during Christmas. I was in Namibia for Christmas 9 years ago, and it was cool. So I'm wondering, should I should I what would I be sharing with you guys? Christmas, that Dr. Tachi, and I know in Nigeria and Ghana, Christmas is everything to the continent of Africa. So I know when my friends in Nigeria, everybody from around the globe goes back home. All my Nigerian friends, they go back to Nigeria to enjoy Christmas. All my friends from Ghana, they go back to Ghana to enjoy Christmas. Same thing in Namibia. Everyone comes back home. However, Namibia is a little different because people from South Africa, Nigeria, no, some people from Nigeria, is mainly people from Namibia outside of Swakopmund. They come down to the beach where everything is happening on the beach and the beach side. So they come from the inlands and come to the coast. And so it's all kinds of people from South Africa, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Wavis. I mean, all these people come to enjoy the coast of Swakopmund. I cannot wait to see it. So I want to experience it. And I see here, let's see what else you guys are saying here. No, you don't have me for a year. No, you have me for as long as I will always be here as long as God gives me strength. You have me wherever I am in the world. You're not just a year. You don't have me for just a year. You have me every day. Every day. You ain't getting rid of me that easy. Dr. Tachi says, That's why the plane tickets are so exorbitant during the time of year. That's why I'm buying my ticket now. I am buying my as a matter of fact, I am going to get my ticket now for my return to Namibia. And oh, I don't know if I announced this to anyone. I just Adrian had to be the first person to know what I accomplished in Namibia. I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you guys. I don't think I mentioned it to you. But hold on a second before I say it. DS says, how so? What makes Christmas so special in Africa? I'm curious, what do? They feast. They come together as family. They come together and connect. They have fun. Everyone is on vacation. They're in vacation mode. No one's thinking about work. Everyone's relaxing, traveling, and being with one another. That's what's so. And I'm going to close with this. It's Motivation Monday. Yeah, that's what Tanya said. They shut it down. It's all about tourism. It's all about family, friends, connecting, going out, having fun, laughing, drinking. And let me tell you, South Africans and Namibians, they know how to drink. They can drink. I mean, it's part of it's a problem. The drinking in South Africa is a problem, but they know how to drink. Okay. So I'm not sure if I announced this to you all, and maybe I shouldn't, but I always tell you guys. Oh, I tell you guys most of the stuff that I'm going through. I don't think I told you this because this just happened. I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you. Maybe I told you I was going to do it. Are y'all ready for this? I am officially a CEO of my own company in Namibia. Did I tell you that? I have my own company. Everything was done. All the paperwork was done. Friday was the last kind of day. Got everything. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you because it came after we were on, and I am now I have a CC in Namibia. I have a business in Namibia. And that allows me to be able to purchase property and land and do business, photography. I can teach photography there now, and I can do a lot as a company. I have a company in Namibia. One of the major goals of me going to Namibia was to start my company there. And on top of that, because you need to start a bank account, you have to have a company. So that's the best way to get your, all the other stuff together. So, and then that's going to help me also with citizenship later on, or not citizen, but to have a visa that's long term. So, working on a residential visa when I get back in December, I start working on that. And so, guys, why am I saying this to you all? Is that something that was never even on my radar? Faith. Surrounding yourself with people that are smarter than you made this all possible. Having a community like you guys has made this all possible. Never underestimate the power of your community. And if you, like I said, you've heard me say this many times, if you don't have a community, if you're not part of this community and you don't have a community or you're not a part of a community, you need to create one. The power of we is more impressive than the power of me. The power of we is you are able to accomplish so much more than just me. Me alone could have done I mean, it would have took me probably forever to do the things I was able to do. But I was able to accomplish so much in these last 4 months. And the biggest one, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought I would have my own company in another country. Guys, believe in the unbelievable. Believe in the unexpected. Believe. Believe. You have to have faith that it's all going to work out and that your destiny is going to be accomplished, whatever that is. Miss T, she always gives my words. So this is a good one. Word of the day: faith. Never underestimate the power of your community. The power of we is greater than me. That was so. That just came just out of that. Just. I mean, isn't that the truth? The power of we is greater than me. I mean, I had so many people working with me to get so much stuff done. I even lost faith in the end. I was like, oh my God, time is running out. I got to go back to America and the bank account is not set up yet. And I'm going to close with this. I'm going to let you guys go. And then my buddy Paul, who I was staying with, my good dear buddy, he said, Ron, we don't talk that way. We are not giving up. He says, you're not on that plane yet, so there's still faith. Sometimes your friends have to help you get realigned. And he says, where's the faith? You got to have faith. Like you'll have faith about everything else. You have to have faith that this is going to happen. I was like, but we only have a day. And you know what happened? He was able to get on the phone, leave a message with the banker who was off because Saturday they don't work. The bankers, the bank managers don't work on Saturdays. And he came into his office. And then my buddy had me, because you have to have copies, you have to go to the precinct, you got to get things stamped, you got to get all this paperwork stamped, all the copies stamped, you got to get all this stuff done. Then you got to take it to the bank, then the bank has to read it, go through it, then all the paperwork, then put it into the computer, and then you got to do all your IRS stuff for America, you got to do your stuff for the Namibia, because of taxations and all. It was work. But Saturday afternoon, it was all done. I had a company and a bank account for my company. Only my friends that know this will know what I'm saying. Won't he do it? Y'all know who I'm talking to. You know who I'm talking to when I say that. Won't he do it? You know who I'm talking to. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? It takes a village, y'all. It takes a village. It takes a community. You need one another. I need you. You need me. We need each other. We cannot do life without each other. Dia says, I believe. Remember that movie? I believe. Dia says, can you share what the business is? It is an investment company. It is an investment company. And also, Kimmy Kim says, oh, wow, meant to be. Dia says, come on now. And Kimmy says, yes, she knows what I'm talking about. She knows what I'm talking about when I say, won't he do it? Won't he do it? And I see in here, what's up, Dwayne? Works out. Thank you, my friend. Javanese is in the building. What's up, Javanese? Brown Sugar is in the building. Tanya's in the building with the butterfly. She knows what I'm talking about. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Okay, food plane. Mr. DS. Thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for supporting what we do here. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for being a arm, a leg, a voice to hold on to accomplish life together. We got this. That's what community's for. And again, I say use that community board. If you got things going that you need to do and you need people to pray or talk or whatever, use the community board. Use it. Okay? Okay. And share this with your friends. If you think this platform is worth sharing, share it. Hopefully someone will be encouraged. Someone will be encouraged. That's what we do here. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I am back in New York, and I am happier. I'm happy. I miss Namibia already, but I'm happy that I'm here in my beautiful, beautiful New York City metropolitan area. One thing the desert doesn't have is greenery. So I have all these beautiful trees to just appreciate and love. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best community. I love you guys. And good to see you again, says DS. You are back home safe and sound. Kimmy's got the applauds going. Okay. It's hard to say goodbye, but I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new day. Okay. Later, guys. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye.